When it comes to anime, I think it's safe to say that we have reached a point in 2025 that anime and manga has reached a level that we couldn't even fathom that it would reach when we were growing up. As we were kids, we didn't think that this small little niche thing would make such an impact in pop culture and everything in between, from video games to celebrity recognition and so on and so forth. But even with how much the genre within itself has grown, there still is a lot of problems with the communities that reside in it, man. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. It's your boy, Mr. Legendary, and I'm gonna just get straight into it. As you can tell by probably the thumbnail or the title, I think the cosplay community has a problem. Now, before I get into it, I'm not gonna say it's the whole community or even the majority of the community, but it's a very vocal minority that I feel like gets more recognition than it probably should. Now, I do realize that me talking about this might shine more light on the subject matter than probably need be, but it's something that I've seen on the feed for the past week or two, and I just wanted to talk about it. For those of you who are on the anime side of Twitter, or for those of you who call it X, whatever, for those of you who are on this side of Twitter, this individual blew up this past week because of her free run cosplay. And if you ask me, she did a really good job. The outfit is on point, the ears look dope, the whole fit, the whole cosplay from top to bottom looks really, really dope. However, as you can see, you can already guess what the problem for some people with this cosplay is. I'm going to keep this in mind as I get into this. This post alone has gotten 8.7 million views, over 14,000 likes, over 3,000 comments, and it states it's always been interesting that so many black cosplayers just wear their own hair or textured wigs, sometimes the right color, sometimes not, with cosplays instead of trying to look as much like the character as possible. They go on to say, not sure why everything needs to be this character but make it black. Seems like an odd choice if you love the original characters. Now, I don't know about y'all, but to me, when I see someone who's cosplaying, I feel like whether somebody chooses to change that character's hair or not, I feel like this falls in the same line of if you see your favorite anime character dressed up as a maid girl or something like that. To me, this is no different than that. And at the end of the day, it's a cosplay. They're able to do what they want with their own cosplay. Now, it's okay to have an opinion, but when your opinion is rooted in something so trivial, it comes off as like very silly. And not only that, with each person that she cosplays, even with her natural hair, she styles it in a way that is very reminiscent to the character that she's cosplaying. And I'm gonna be real with you, every single one of these is dope. Like, and she goes out of her way to either dye her hair or or do it up. Like, they all look really, really good. No cap. And if you scroll further down into the feed, Plato's Philosophies is someone who I feel like broke down this whole thing quite well. And the main reason that I really wanted to make the video in the first place, they go on to say this is such a non-issue, and it's mindsets like these that literally just killed a black cosplayer. Also, a lot of cosplayers use their own hair. Wigs can get expensive, especially if you cosplay a ton of characters. They go on to say that somebody died. And yes, I believe earlier this year, my fault. A cosplayer by the name of Squid Kid 111 on Twitter actually passed away because of online harassment. And when you start narratives off such as this opens the floodgates for people to go after this person for doing a cosplay the way that they want to. Now, I understand that people deal with online hate in different ways, but when you're somebody who has a picture up on Twitter. Twitter, of all places, is one of the most toxic places to be. Even though it is one of my favorite social media platforms, not gonna lie. When you are someone who has garnered 23.7 million views and over 300,000 likes on a cosplay, I'm not gonna lie, you're going to get a lot of hate from people who are just unfortunately just trashy human beings. And when you start to frame things in this light, that opens the floodgates even more to harassment and stuff like that. Not to say that people have to censor what they say, but you have to realize that the things that you say can have repercussions to other individuals. And I understand this person cannot control what somebody else does, but you have to be smart when if you have these kinds of thoughts and stuff like that on this platform specifically. Granted, I understand that hate can be garnered anywhere at any time, but this is the things that this is the can of worms that you open up when you frame things in this light. And like I said, when I look at a cosplay like this, to me, this is no different from somebody doing like a gender bend or putting their favorite character in a maid outfit or anything like that. Like I feel like when it comes to cosplay, I view cosplay just like I view any other form of art. Like art can be critiqued, sure, but when you do it in this way, I'm not saying that you have to critique things in a certain way, but when you go out of your way to to critique a specific subgroup of people on how they choose to interpret their art, because that to me, that's at the end of the day, that's what cosplay is. Cosplay is an art form just like anything, where you want to look at manga or video games or anime or anything like that. How somebody wants to interpret said art should be able to do that without it being framed in this kind of light. Because why are you lumping all of like there's a way to go about it, and this just comes off as just like just very hateful. I don't know. Maybe some people might call me soft or this, that, and the other, but I feel like it's like this isn't necessary. This is not necessary to say. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, to me, I feel like it shows more dedication and more hard work to style your own hair in a way that's similar to the character than it is to go out of your way and get a wig or get somebody to make one for you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, to have this much hair is already that's already a job within itself. Anybody who has had a lot of hair, I know I shaved my head, I'm bald, but somebody who did used to have a lot of hair and stuff like that, and know who sibling has a lot of hair, girlfriend has a lot of hair, and all of that. It's not easy to do what this person is doing with their hair, especially because it's like in a tasteful light. Like all of these styles, even if they don't have a wig, and like she doesn't have to straighten her hair for it to look like Sailor Mercury. This is Sailor Mercury. This looks good. And the thing is, even if it didn't look good, even if it looked bad, it's one thing to talk about a cosplay if it looks bad just for the sake of it like looking bad. Okay, fine. But there's nothing inherently bad about anything like that she's doing outside of like, oh, she's styling her own hair, and that I don't know. This whole thing was just like a very like this is like such a non-issue, and I feel like this is just a small example of what takes place in the cosplay and just anime like community, anime cosplay, and like that whole like sphere. I feel like it's a very loud minority who feels very opinionated about something that is not a problem. Like if you go anywhere else, like cosplay, like the cosplay community, I will say is very welcoming, it's and very helpful as well. I got into cosplay, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago, or sorry, about well, roughly 5 to 7 years ago. And there were characters where I was like, man, I don't know if I should cosplay this character, this, that, and the other. And 2 years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want. I went and I cosplayed as Rock Lee from Naruto. I got a wig and all of that, and I had a freaking blast. Is Rock Lee black? No. Did I have any like, and everybody who saw cosplay, regardless of their background or anything like that, were so supportive and like so caring, and like it was just good vibes all the way around. But too many times, especially like on social media, this unfortunately leaks over to people's like livelihoods and stuff like that, and you start to paint a target on people such as her, to the point that unfortunately, like I said before, the other cosplayer who unfortunately passed away, they get bombarded with levels of hate. And I get that the internet is a place that's going to have a lot of hate, but the average person doesn't have hundreds of thousands of people calling you out of your name and just belittling you just based off of cosplay. At the end of the day, these are fictional characters, guys. Like it's I promise you, it's not that deep. It's never that deep to go after somebody's livelihood or how they look or this, that, and the other. Like at the end of the day, let people cosplay who they want to cosplay. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, what did they say when we were growing up? If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Keep it to yourself. Like this whole thing was just such a non-issue, but that's something that I've been thinking about this week, man. If y'all are new to the channel, go ahead and like the video if y'all enjoyed. Subscribe to your boy. I try and upload every chance that I get. I try and stream both on here and on Twitch as often as I can. With that being said, I hope you guys have a good night. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Y'all stay legendary.